Okay, everybody, so welcome back. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace and the Tiny Product Lab. I wanted to share a really great idea for tiny agencies or solopreneurs, folks who are building digital media brands who are leaning into the notion of sharing your clients' reviews as a business offer, right? So helping your ideal audience or your quintessential client community share their own reviews on their own websites, on their own social media, etc., is one of the easiest, most ethical, and evergreen opportunities to my eye that's really out there. So this is a new tool from Visualize Value, the Jack Butcher created digital brand. There's a fantastic array and assortment of great tools in the Visualize Value community. So I really recommend checking that out. I'd pay for almost nothing in terms of folks who are other creators who make stuff for creators like myself. That this is like an exception to the rule that I can't recommend strongly enough. This is one of the new tools they've added, and I'm going to show you a really quick example of how I'm using it for our tiny book community in 2026. So I just created this in the last couple of days, and essentially what it is, it's an alternative. You'll hear my pug snoring as usual in the background. So if you're just new to these videos, that's the noise that you're hearing. All right. So what this does a little differently from other testimonials.to or Senja or those sorts of tools, it's really elegant. It's really simple, and where the stripped downness is a feature rather than a bug, right? So this actually allows you or your clients in this case to leave reviews. And just by pushing this button here, you can type or talk. And I'm just going to give you, you know what, if you click on this, it's recording me right now. So that might actually not jive so fantastically well with the fact that I'm recording this video too. But you'll see this is actually recording my words right now, and it's transcribing them into a review that I can then later share on my own wall of love, my own website. I can embed pretty much anywhere. There's cool, sort of accoutrements and extra features like, QR codes and things like that, landing pages, etc. But let's just stop it and let's see what happens. The other thing that you can do is you can type, right? So this is me right here. These are the words that I just said. All right, so I'm going to say Ian Test. We're going to submit the review. I can leave an email if I want and a phone number if I want. I'm not going to do that in this case. But essentially, we now have a review that is pending. You'll see on the back end of my site. Or the back end of my account with them. Let's go back into. I'm still new to this, so there's some places that I'm not necessarily so sure where everything lives. But let's go to all. All right, so these are the reviews thus far that have been published. If I go to pending, that review that we just did on this video is now on the back end being processed, and it will eventually show up here in the pending tab. I believe that's kind of been my experience thus far. I've only started using this in the last day and a half or so. There's just all kinds of other things you can do that are very cool. You can, change the headline here. You can change the prompt. You can try some of the, kind of pre-suggested prompts if you want. You can record a voice prompt to prompt people to leave a review as well. I haven't done that yet, but I'll do that, and maybe I'll cover that somewhere else as well. You can collect email and phone reviews from reviewers. I'm not sure really what that does. Let's just click it. And then on redirect after the review, sending folks to a tinybookabout.com, which is the root domain for our site. But I haven't really used that so much for about a year. I'm doing more on Substack and other places, but you can see that actually via atinybookabout.com, and you can test variants, etc. There are some other premium features, I guess, that I haven't tried yet. Some of these I'm not sure if they're part of my general membership with Visualize Value or require a separate upgrade. Pretty much everything in the VV toolkit is, there are courses and tools and all kinds of various cool things that are available there in under one umbrella. This feels like a separate service that they're rolling out, that they're including in a limited way within the Visualize Value members community. So I think I have I have access to this on a free level, but not the premium level. I think that requires an upgrade, but I certainly would be happy to upgrade, right? So here's that pending review. I'm going to approve that too, because the value is so incredible, no pun intended, within the VV suite of stuff that to support them further, using something like this as a separate service, just to generate some cash flow their direction, feels like a trivial, thing. All right. So one of the things you can do here is you can copy the iframe, right? So then you can just paste this anywhere you want. So you could paste this in Notion, you could paste this in Ghost, you can paste this in WordPress. You can really embed this content anywhere you want, and this is where the reviews live. Let's see. So remove powered by branding. Yeah, so it looks like there's an upgrade, even though I have access to the tool itself. All right, and there's what else here? They give you like all of this. Like, I don't know that I would use this, but they give you all these like pre-designed emails and texts and SMS content. I mean, this was really, really fantastic for people who, might not necessarily love to write, or the communication aspect of building a business isn't necessarily your favorite part of the job. I happen to like that stuff, but I know a lot of people don't. And this allows you to just kind of copy, their templates and use them in your own campaigns. There's a send email button here. I'm not sure what that does exactly, but it might just bring up my email client and start the process of sending an email to that person. So here are some of the reviews that I've created thus far to test for my own, for our Tiny Book About brand. Lots of cool things here. There's also a great landing page. Let's go back to that, because I don't think So the landing page here that they give you, much like the testimonials.to or the Sendras of the world, you get a wall of love. And this is no surprise in the sort of aesthetic and the the very minimalistic kind of branding and styling that Visualize Value is well known for. This just does it like you'd expect, right? Very beautiful, very simple, very elegant in a stripped down sort of way, which I happen to think is just a fantastic design heuristic. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And you can start to collect testimonials and reviews just like this for your own brand, for your own business, for your own books, regardless of what kind of business you're in. Or I know there's a fair amount of folks who watch these videos who are agencies. If you're in that sort of business where you're selling services, I can't tell you how easy it is to sell reviews to people. Like sell review curation and wall of love style design, like on card or on Framer. People love to show off the things that other people are saying about their brand, their business, their words, and their work. So this sort of service makes it really, it's an infinitely elastic opportunity to go out into the world and to find your own clients and say, hey, let's really launch a testimonial review campaign for your business, right? And I'm going to set it up for you, and we're going to create a page for you just like this, You can also embed all the reviews on your, your blog, your website, etc. And it's just a fantastic, very easy way of selling an ethical, in-demand, opportunity to your own clients or community, regardless of what niche, market, vertical, industry, or area of expertise you specialize. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. As always, I appreciate you listening. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I don't get any affiliate, commissions for doing this. I just happen to be a big fan of what they are building over there. They've been nice to me in the very limited, interactivity I've had with them, and this feels like a nice way of sharing the love for their content and community. Thanks so much. I appreciate you listening, and have a wonderful day.